Hey guys, it's your boy Joe back at it again. Sorry about that. I was doing a live feed and then things was going crazy, so I'd rather just come here and explain it to you in a video. So Philippe's had a very good question. If nobody is, as far as like companies, no one's using hyperapp as as their full-fledged framework or whatever you want to call it, right? Their main stack. Why am I teaching it? Well, you got to think about it like this, Philippe. Basically, every framework is a tool. Every framework is a way for you to get a job done, right? You know, it's like you got to take out a screw, right? A star screw. You're not going to go in there with a hammer and hammer it down, right? Because that's not what the requirements it needs, right? It needs a screwdriver that has a star on it, right? So that's the same thing as every framework out there, right? When you become a experienced developer, with time you realize there's a framework, there's a tool, there's a library, there's something for each project. Right now, let's say somebody asks me, Joe, we want you to create a video player, right? What would I use? React, Angular, or hyperapp, or Vue, or what's the other one? I think Mark. There's another one called Mark or something like that. Marco. Which one would I use? I will use hyperapp because it's super simple. I get to keep track of the state of my app, and it's super small. I'm just building that one component. I'm not going to build a full website with hyperapp. For that, if I want to do that, I'm gonna use React. I'll be honest, so that's what I'm saying. You guys is gonna have different situations where you might say, hey, I want to create a form, a quick form, something small, right? And I don't want to use jQuery. I want to have something where I could keep track of my state, keep the validations, keep things nice and clean. I'm going to use hyperapp for that, right? Let's say another situation. Let's say you have a search bar, right? And you're typing down, something, and you want it to autocomplete, and you want to create that component. What would I use? Am I going to do that with jQuery? Am I going to do that with React? Why would I use React when React, the library, is huge and uses like 2 or 3 different things? Basically uses React, it uses React DOM, it uses component if I'm using ES6 classes. So there's so much things that I have to load for React to work. Instead, I would just use hyperapp because it's a small component, it's something quick, and you want it to load fast, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's like for every single situation, there's a different tool for it. Now, as you become a more experienced developer, you get to figure that out. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys, because like I said, every single situation has a different tool. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna come in, and if you're building something simple, there's really no point of you coming in and creating something with React and Redux. You're making it more complicated than what it needs to be, right? You're doing let's say just a simple search bar with autocomplete. Why would you use React and Redux for it? You could just use the regular React, right, without no Redux, and keep everything on your local state for that component. Now, if you want it to be faster than that, because it's just a small component, you don't need this big library, then you will use something like hyperapp, right? A lot of the things that you use jQuery for, I will use hyperapp for. That's my opinion. That's how I would choose it, and that's why I want to teach it to people, because you need to know multiple tools for different situations, different jobs. It's like there's certain situations where I'll say, hey, I will use Node.js over PHP, Laravel. Laravel is more for a full-fledged website, something that I have user authentication, a whole bunch of stuff, right? If all I want to do is just create a REST API for a cell phone, let's say I have a blog, right? And all I want to do is just return back a JSON of all my posts to a cell phone, right? To a mobile device. And that's what I want to do. Like, let's say somebody has a phone application and they need to connect to somewhere to get that data. Would I do this in Laravel? No. All I would do is just do this shit straight on Node.js and basically just send them the JSON data. Like, every single situation has a tool for it. And as you become more experienced, you get to figure that out with time. So that's all I'm saying, kids. You already know, it's your boy Joe, back at it again, CodingPhase.com. Philippe, hope that answered your question. Keep throwing questions at me, man, in comments, man. I love that. It's like, it's a good discussion. It's good to have discussion between developers and basically talk to each other. And like I was saying on my live video, man, you know, a lot of times don't worry about what everybody's using, because whenever somebody tells me everybody's using this, automatically I gotta question it, because I'm like, are they really using it? Is everybody really using that? You know what I mean? Like, all the companies in the world, the majority are using whatever, you know, fill in the blanks, whatever library or framework the person might tell me. I'm like, not really, because every time I go to a different company, I've been to a whole bunch of companies, from major to small businesses to just clients. Everybody uses a different workflow depending on what the company's business is. Perfect example, guys. Look up the stack of Netflix, right? Netflix has like 3-4 different backends servers, right? Backend languages. Then they have like literally every framework out there. Do you guys think every company is like that? No. So when somebody, a developer from framework or from Netflix, comes in and does a talk on a thing, how you call this, on a freaking, I'm sorry, I'm starving, I haven't ate, on a convention, right? He basically comes in, he does a talk. Does it really mean that everybody is using whatever that company is using? No. It just means in that company they use that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. You already know, it's your boy Joe, back at it again, CodingPhase.com. Stay up, man. And like I said, check out my website, CodingPhase.com. Got a couple of links there below. Check those out. You could go to the Udemy if you like Udemy. If you like my website, listen, it's the best deal, $5 a month. You're getting every course, or you could just buy it individually for like $15. All right? So I'll see you guys later. Bow. You already know, it's your boy Joe, back at it again, man. Listen, make sure you subscribe and make sure you like this video, man. By the way, if you want to know exactly what courses I took to become a web developer, they're right there in the description. It's no secret. It's nothing crazy. It's no secret gift that I had. It's just pretty much, I took the courses. They're pretty cheap. They're like $15 each on specials. And just listen, man, change your life, change your lifestyle, do something fun and something cool that you could call a career. Bow.